it. So I have an editor, so we can talk and talk and talk, and I can cut and cut and cut.
Okay, cool.
And, like even now, it's recording.
Right.
But
you can edit
I can
it.
edit anything.
Cool.
Hey everybody, this is Ken Hansley.
Paul Maslakowski.
We thought we would put together a video to go over the ballot packet that you all have received in the mail in the last week, just to hopefully make things a little easier to understand and hopefully get you to fill out the ballot and send it in.
Right. I've already gotten a couple of questions about why is this on a ballot, or how do we do this? So we just thought we'd take the time to explain what's there so you can get your vote in, because every vote counts.
That's right, exactly. There's a lot of paper in this packet that you got, and the most important thing is the ballot, but there's a lot of other important things too. You know, it starts with basically a letter of instructions. What's in this mailing and what you're expected to do. You can read through that, and hopefully that will help you.
One of the key things that gets buried in there that people may forget is make sure that you're doing this in either blue or black ink, because if you don't, they won't accept your ballot.
Yeah, that's important. The next page is the agenda of the meeting on May 15th. Pretty self-explanatory. The next page is the minutes of last year's annual meeting. This has to be approved annually. So this year, we're approving the minutes of last year's annual meeting. And that is actually on the ballot. That's one of the items that is on the ballot, whether you approve these minutes or not. You know, in a monthly HOA meeting, it's the board that approves the minutes from meeting to meeting, month to month. But in an annual meeting, the members approve last year's minutes.
And the reason that they do it that way is because, one, this is our meeting, and so we're the ones that have to approve it. The law requires that the minutes get approved. The other option that the board would have would be to call a special meeting, but getting a quorum for special meetings is not only hard, but it's also costly. So attaching this to something they're more likely to get a quorum on increases the likelihood of it passing, and also is cheaper for the association.
That's right, that's right. The next 6 pages are each of the candidates' nomination forms. And they're double-sided. So we have Daphne Cortese, we have Tony Denegine, Paul Gladfelter, Ken Hansley, Paul Maslakowski, and Nancy Mickelson. All 6 of them, double-sided. If you want to read through them, there are each of our statements that we provided when we decided to run for the board.
Right. This is information that you had gotten from the HOA earlier, but they included in the packet just so it'll be fresh in your hands when you're filling out the ballot.
Exactly. Then comes the ballot. On the front of the ballot, it gives you instructions. There's no cumulative voting this year. You have 6 people running, you have 2 votes, but no one can get more than 1 vote. So you can split your vote, 1 vote each on 2 different people. Or alternatively, you can say, I prefer not to vote for anyone, but include my ballot as a way to make the quorum, which is 25%. We have to have a return from 1/4 of the homeowners here for this election to
count.
Yeah, to be effective. Right?
Because otherwise we have to either continue it or re-hold it again at more cost.
Yeah, and it's already late. It's already May.
Right.
You know, so it's real important that we get the turnout to be as high as possible.
One thing you have to remember on there is you can only pick from those 6 names that are down there. You can't write anybody in because our rules do not accept write-in votes.
Right. They're very specific about the instructions here. You know, it tells you not more than 1 vote per candidate, not to exceed 2 votes total. Please mark an X for each vote. So, and it tells you exactly where to put that here. The back of the ballot actually has some items that need to be voted on as well. And the first part is the IRS tax resolution 70-604. So this is my explanation is, if we make a profit, we get taxed on that, right? So we want to avoid paying those taxes. So we want, but it's up to you how you vote on this. But we're voting to approve the resolution so that we don't pay taxes on any added income that we might be getting in 2024.
And you might have a thought, well, I thought we were a nonprofit. We are, which means we're not supposed to ever have any profits. And so, but sometimes with our budgets, we end up running surpluses because we got more fees, or we're able to cut cost enough that we had extra leftover money. If we didn't approve this resolution, it would be taxed as income, even though we are a nonprofit. This allows us to, what we're doing here is we're pledging we're going to use that money for future expenses, and that way the IRS will not consider it profit, but will let us roll it over and use it for expenses in the coming year.
Yeah. The last item on the ballot has to do with approving of last year's minutes. So it's just approve or disapprove. And hopefully everyone will approve. We need a majority to approve that as well. Once you've completed your ballot, it goes into the envelope that says secret ballot envelope. And it has to be sealed, and nothing else can go in there. It's just the ballot, that's all. But it has to be sealed, okay?
Don't write your name on the ballots or anything else. Just do the ballot and stuff it in that envelope without any identification.
Yeah, no ID on the ballot, on the envelope either.
This is to keep your ballot secret.
Yes. That envelope then goes into the mailing envelope. And the mailing envelope requires some information. You have to put your name on here, you have to have your address on here, and you have to sign it. All three are best to do all three. 2 are required, but do all 3.
And if you use an address outside of the community, you need to have the address of the property you own in the community.
There you go. Right. And then there's a mailing address, and it requires a stamp. Now, you can mail it. It has to be in their hands, if mailed, by 4 p.m. on May 14th, the day before the election. That is where it's going to go to the inspector of elections. They have to have it the day before. Or you can take it to the lodge the morning of the election. They have to have it by 10:45 a.m. because that meeting starts at 11. So if you're not interested in mailing it, it can be delivered there on that date. If you're not interested in going on that date, you can give your ballot to someone else who can take it there for you. And if you don't know of anybody who can do that, we're happy to do that for you. I take people's ballots who don't want to mail it and who aren't going to the meeting. I've done that every year. So we're happy to do that, or any of your neighbors that you know who are going. I'll include both of our email addresses at the end of this so that you can contact us if you are interested in having us take your ballot on that date.
The most important thing is, please vote.
Please vote. That's the most important thing. We would like to see a really high turnout. It's an important election. There's a lot of things coming up in the near future, including a turnover from builder control or the builder having votes here to all of us having control of our association ourselves. So if you have any questions, email us. I'll have the email on the screen. And
we hope this helps if you had any questions about how to do this.
yeah. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.